jump, jump. Tell a hater we do what we want. I just keep on running like I'm gum. Back up in this homie, get it bucked. Yo, I'ma need you all to jump, jump. Tell a hater we do what we want. I just keep on
Hi
running
everyone,
like I'm
Chrissy
gum.
Morales here on Unsung Talent, showcasing today's hottest underground music artists and all talent of all ages. I'm here today with Stan, also known as Jen, right?
Yep.
Jen, how are ya?
Yeah, I'm just cool. It's Saturday.
Saturday, yes, always vibing. I'm so excited that you're here today, and we're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait to hear your music and your live performance. So let's tell the audience about yourself and what you're doing.
I mean, right now I'm working on a new album, new project coming out this spring. Coming out alongside New Jersey. Now a lot of artists coming out. Stevie Franks is also coming out for an interview, so we're trying to put alongside on the map. And I've been putting out a couple singles this year and just trying to keep things moving. So that's what we got in the works right now.
What's your genre?
My genre would be hip hop. I would say I'm a little bit spoken word too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I love that a lot of artists now are kind of putting in that spoken word and hip hop. Tell me, why is it that they're doing that rather than sticking to the old traditional hip hop?
I think because it really started from that when you kind of like peel back the layers. Like it started from spoken word, and then people started putting it to beats. And when you think about it, if you don't really have the lyricism, regardless of what style of hip hop or music you make, then where's the substance at? You might as well just be a DJ turning on a beat. So I think that it's pretty cool when people can not only show their lyricism, but it makes a more intimate setting for them and the listener. Like you're talking to the person instead of them being just another member that bought your album.
Right,
you know?
right. So you keep it personal.
Right.
What inspires you to do that?
I just like connecting with people. So, my experience might be different from theirs, but on some certain level, the feeling behind the music or behind the poetry, they can relate to that. If you're having a bad day, if you're having a good day, you're just bored, like whatever you're feeling, you should be able to connect with that person.
Right, absolutely. And I feel as though music especially has just adapted over time. We can always relate, but I feel like with certain things now, with technology and social media, now you can even reach a larger audience. Wouldn't you say that that's like the thing now? Like
Absolutely.
Social media? So how would you like gear your music? Do you shorten it? Do you expand it? How do you reach your audience?
At the end of the day, I do what I want to do, but I think that you definitely have to use the tools that are given to you in whatever area you live in. So we are blessed enough to have social media to promote our genres, whether it be your showcase or whether it be my music. I also do the same thing I do a sports podcast as well, so I do the same thing with that.
Cool. Okay.
So I try to use those mediums to really promote myself and get people. I feel like that's helped me with music and with the podcast, where I'm slowly growing this thing, but I'm getting people tuning in from parts of the country that I've never been to. I had a guy from Puerto Rico tune into my podcast the other day.
That's super cool.
So it gives you a chance to connect with people you wouldn't normally have a chance to see face to face.
Absolutely. I think that's awesome. I mean, especially now with just technology, like I said before, but just having a podcast, having people vibe out to your stuff. Are you going to do like a music podcast eventually, or what are you thinking?
I think that's going to be the next step.
Yeah?
I think that's going to be the next step because I always have fun going on these different shows and talking to people. And we end up talking about my music, their music, politics, sports, whatever. And, you see all these different podcasts like Joe Budden's or Drink Champs and stuff, and they're just going out there enjoying themselves and talking about their brand and having fun. So I think that's the next step.
Yeah, that's the next step. Yay!
Absolutely.
So watch out, guys.
Yep.
What's your podcast right now called?
It's called Jen Sports Corner.
Okay.
It started out as like a boxing podcast because I've seen all these channels on YouTube and I'm passionate about boxing, so I figured why not just run my mouth for 30 minutes.
A lot of people are doing that though, and you know
Yeah.
what? It's captivating. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people want to sit there and hear you talk. But yeah, like that's something that's been fun for me, and I've been just slowly growing it. I got a chance to team up with this group of podcasters called Playmakers Radio, like last year. And how I never started my podcast, I would have never connected with these guys. And that took me to the point where we were covering games for the Sixers G League team.
Nice.
And I got a chance to like meet some of the players. Like Shake Milton was on the starting squad for the Sixers in the playoffs.
Super cool.
And we got to meet him when he was just starting down the G League. So it's like you make these connections and you never know where things are going to take you. So yeah.
So definitely things are just going really well for you.
Absolutely. Where
do you see yourself going in the future with all these things, with the music, with your podcast, maybe even acting? You never know.
Possibly. I see it being in a spot where I can talk to some of these athletes that I just watch on a daily basis. Like short story, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl 2017, Brandon Graham had the strip sack on Tom Brady. I actually ran into Brandon Graham at a Cinemark like down the street from me.
That's super.
In 2012,
super awesome.
When he was like not having a good time with the Eagles. And then fast forward 5 years, not only does he remember me, but we're having this conversation about how he thinks it's going to be their year, signs of football for me, and then bam, he's making plays. So like to get to be able to talk to people like that, if I was able to have him on the podcast and rehash all those stories, just moments like that are what makes it worth it.
So you wish you could have captivated that right on camera or on podcast. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I would love to get him back on the show because we can talk about that. Like, man, we was just talking about that.
Have you tried hitting him up on like Instagram or any social media and saying, hey, like, you know, come on board?
I think eventually I will. He's put me in, gave me the contact info of some other like former Eagles players, so I'm gonna reach out to them as well.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Any new music that you're working on? I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but if you want to reiterate the stuff that you're working on.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm working on a new project called Dark Side of the Sun. So I actually finished the single for that. I'm going to be shooting a video for that next month, so that's going to be coming out pretty soon.
That's cool.
Me and Stevie Franks are actually have a lot of things in the works, so I'm not going to spoil the surprise on that too much, but we have some stuff coming out. Doing a collaboration with DJ King Flow from France. So.
Oh, that's so up from France.
Yeah.
That is so cool. How'd you get in touch with somebody from France? Like, that's awesome.
I dropped a single like back in March, and he just saw it on Instagram. He was like, "Hey, you want to be on my podcast?" And you just
see. That's what we were talking about. How influential social media has become. Exactly. I mean, I'm really not liking what like. It was awesome, and social media is impactful, but now they're kind of starting to limit kind of like what is exposed. I don't know if you've noticed, but Facebook kind of changed their policies and stuff, so they're kind of, yeah. Tell me how you feel about that. We're really going to touch base on that because I know how I feel. Tell me how you feel.
I think if you don't pay to play with Facebook, if you don't put a certain amount of money up, well, you know, then they limit the type of exposure you can get.
Right.
So,
even what you say. You know,
exactly.
You got to be careful what you say because if they don't like it, then it's going to be taken away.
I don't care. I mean,
keeping it real, keeping it real.
I mean, I obviously am cognizant of the world around me and what the limitations are, but I'm not going to let somebody box me in.
Absolutely.
If Facebook won't let me speak ad nauseum about what I want to talk about, I'll go to YouTube.
Right.
Or I'll go to Patreon.
Right.
Like, I'll find my lane where I can say the things I need to get out there.
So you can find different platforms. That's the beauty of it too.
Exactly.
Everything has adapted to the point where it's like you don't just need one social media. You can find many platforms to be on to express yourself.
Yeah, it's a yin and a yang. I mean, that's the bad part is that they can try to censor you, but the good part is there's so many avenues they can't cut off all of them.
That's right. That's right. Now tell me about, you're going to be performing today. Tell me about your song and what inspired it.
So the song was called Rolling Stone. It's producer Illmind. He makes a lot of good beats. What inspired it was, I think it was 2 years ago when I made the song, and they were having a big crisis with obviously like the hurricane and all the downturn in the economy in Atlantic City. And I was just like looking at everything going on and just wondering like, what things can we do to make New Jersey and the US better? What are the things that need to be talked about? So there's a lot of sarcasm and different innuendos throughout the song. And not only are people going to relate to it, but definitely people that live in New Jersey are going to feel a lot of references I throw out.
Jersey represent. Well,
Yep.
We're excited. You ready?
Exactly.
All right, put your hands together for the Jen.
What's going on? It's your boy Jen. Salute. You can check me out on social media, Instagram, Jen the God, or Facebook Stan Jen Conaway, Conaway. The song I'm doing today for y'all is called Rolling Stone. Let's get it. I don't think you people heard me. This ain't just me, I'm speaking for New Jersey. So y'all children in a garden state, but it's hard to escape your cars in place and the passengers laughing while pulling the parking brake. Oh, it's bored to start to make you harbor hate. Awesome great, it's hard to take you serious. When I'm broken, I'm barking and starving to make it. Let's take for birth, and that man is outie. You left thinking, Papa went and made a plan without me. Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Stop, man. You wasn't what? My stomach growling, trying to make 100,000 to flip in the millions, little women. I'm talking Sunny Alice, sipping pina colada. Me and my girl smiling, we living la vida loca. To drink to my yana, pop by slave for the guap, but I never vent or complain. Sunshine, rain, sleet or snow, keep my face expression the same. They don't even know my steeds can go from heated into freezing cold. And I don't cash a check in my name, I need the dough, even a sense in the change. My soul can feel with more aggression and pain, the more the flesh can contain. Ready to scream with all of the stress in my brain. So I never took the easy road, I proceeded slow. I need to know when you're expecting a change. You respect the game, don't be eager to go race it. You needed to slow, pacing your meaning, your flow. Teasing these eager beavers with just a believer fever. You naming the ether, your soul, filming these pieces of cold. You're stunting for nothing, I came to endanger these evil Knievel's occasional scheming and reaching my door. My teenage achieving my goals, and and reaching this deep in your hole. These are the seats for heating the cold, steaming and snow, and I ain't even sleeping, complaining the weeks. This equal to fold, you kidding? But I believe that I come to get them. Come on, thinking your money strong, conducting the living, my hustling. Think you trumping the system, and trouble comes along. These people revel in the moment, like there's nothing wrong. You showboating like a king until that money's gone. But I went along. You wasn't what? Kept rolling. Yeah. Talk to him, girl. Yeah. Bye. Long live the dreamer. LTD. Check out the merchandise. Salute.
Woo! Great job, Jen. You killed that. Thank you so much for being on the show. Jersey represent. Longside represent. Here on Unsung Talent. Check you guys later.